What if I told you that credit companies are practically begging to pay you $10,000 a month? They have that money ready for you. All you need to do is take it. And no, I'm not talking about some sketchy credit repair scheme. I'm not talking about becoming a loan officer or a debt collector. I'm talking about a little known business model that's perfectly legal, ethical, and in ever-increasing high demand. If you don't know who I am, I'm Bruce Gibbs Jr., and I've built a multiple six-figure business using this little-known business model. And in this video, I'm going to share the exact step-by-step process that I use so that you can do the same. I'll be showing you what this business model actually is in plain English, why credit companies are desperate for good people to run this business for them, and how you can position yourself to tap into this $10,000 a month opportunity. So if you're ready to learn how to be the middleman that these credit companies can't live without, watch this video until the very end and you'll have everything you'll need to know how to make that happen. Let's understand the basics of what data furnishing actually is. Data furnishing is when a company, they're approved by a credit bureau, and the credit bureau grants them the power to be a legal original creditor of actual personal or business credit. This is what people call, in slang terms, primary trade lines. This is what shows up on your credit report. You have the power to create this as an original creditor. That's powerful. It's crucial for you to understand how valuable this is to the industry. Data furnishers are crucial to the credit industry because if you have this authority to originate credit itself, you know everybody needs this. Credit repair companies, the people who these credit repair companies are marketing to. Everybody is in the outcome of things in this credit world trying to get primary trade lines. They're trying to get funded from them. You being able to originate credit, you're the centralizer of everybody, every single pillar of credit. So you are always going to be needed. You're always going to be in high demand. The legal framework that makes this possible is that the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they legalize financial institutions, specifically finance companies, to report positive credit, any types of credit, transactions, as long as it's on paper. They have customers to prove that they've signed and approved of these credit accounts. You can legally have the authority from a credit bureau to be a data furnisher. Let's talk about what a primary trade line is. This is the value that data furnishers are creating. This is the credit account that shows up on somebody's credit report. The way data furnishers can create this high value asset, they have a software that they compute all of what is info on a spreadsheet into a formatted file that they can now send electronically to a credit bureau. Here's why credit companies and consumers are paying so much to get this value from a data furnisher. Primary trade lines is what gets an individual approved for high limit funding, personal credit, or for business credit funding. Primary trade lines is what a data furnisher can originate. So by having an in-house private independent data furnisher that you can just at will pay to get that primary trade line reported on your credit report, so you can get that, Dodge SRT, $100,000 plus car, that Lamborghini, get approved for that Navy Federal credit card or that Amex credit card, Gold. You can get that from working with an in-house data furnisher and buying their primary trade lines. Let's talk about the supply and the demand. There is a shortage of reliable data furnishers out here. The manner in which people are using this loophole to cash out, it's very wild. It's like a wild, wild west out here. People are scamming people. People are taking advantage and abusing this power, burning out this with putting this on CPNs. There's a lot of wrong that's put a lot of negative stigma around this world of data furnishing. You have the opportunity, being ahead of the game, with you being informed of the ins and outs of this and the negative stigma behind this. And if you just turn this around using the right framework, using the right infrastructure to approach this business with, like a real professional above board business owner, you are able to cash out in a manner, because this is unregulated and there's no law stopping you. You can use this and have this as a long-term hustle by making this an actual stable long-term business. The real numbers on what a credit company is willing to pay for a trade line from you, thousands. They will pay you if you have, let's say, a $50,000 auto loan trade line. They will pay you easily $1,000 a pop, a head. Imagine if they have 100 clients. You do the math on how much money you just made that month reporting for every single one of those. Where your $10,000 per month comes in, it's through you fulfilling the orders of all of the clients that have paid for slots of yours, of all those trade line accounts that you're saying you can report. So once they pay, that's now you fulfilling those orders, putting those trade lines on their credit report. That's now where that value exchange transaction comes in to get you your $10,000 per month coming in. How to potentially scale past $10,000 per month? It comes from you doing partnerships with credit companies that already have existing clients, that have been cooking up, building their company, growing over the course of years, that you leverage their infrastructure, their operation, their audience, their marketing, everything, and you just be in the background as the plug that fulfills those orders on the back end while they get their share brokering your trade lines to their audience. Here's the legal requirements to becoming a data furnisher. You need to have paperwork for every single account that you're reporting. Everything needs to have a paper trail. Contracts that's signed with the client that you're reporting on behalf of, their approval on paper to them taking on your offer of this credit account. Just like how a bank does it, you need to have that signed, legalized, and documented. You also want to have in a document how you're handling the data that you're reporting. If there's in some cases a dispute on your credit, data furnishers get disputed by consumers all the time. Consumers, they have the power to delete and remove at will, really. Here's the software and the essential tools needed to operate this data furnishing hustle. You need to have M2 Reporter, a software that computes the data from your spreadsheet file into the primary trade line needed to report on people's credit report. You need to have Microsoft Excel, a spreadsheet for you to put all of your clients' customer profile information for the credit that they're about to receive. All of the info needed to report it to the correct profile of theirs, written out on that spreadsheet, all right? You'll be uploading this into the software. You need to have all of the office equipment needed to pass the office inspection, the last step to get you your credentialing, to get you your access pass as an approved data furnisher inside this program of this credit bureau. Let's debunk some common misconceptions. The number one misconception is that this is illegal. There's no way you can do all of this stuff. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is the highest tier governor of all of consumer credit, anything credit reporting, anything, they allow a financial institution, and it's stated in the law, to report credit, positive credit, negative credit, any transaction that comes from out of their company, as long as they have this on paper and can prove that this is all of who they're reporting on behalf of actual credit accounts. This is the law. Another misconception is, I need a finance background. I have no finance background at all. Actually, I'm in a communications background, solely in the media. So I just dived into this with a completely different background and was able to become a data furnisher and be successful in it. So it doesn't matter which background that you actually are coming in from. You can learn this too. Another misconception is that the market is saturated. This couldn't be further from the truth. The people in this space that actually is reporting and pulling off selling these primary trade lines as a hustle, they're running with their heads cut off like a chicken. They're blind leading the blind. There's no above board ways they're conducting, doing this business, transacting with other people, and actually fulfilling orders and running this as a systemic actual business. So you having this cheat code of business blueprint, how to run this in an above board manner, you're one of, if not, very, very few, if not even less than few people that are running this in an above board business where you can dominate, be one of the dominating monopolies that's taking a large share of this pie and not the other way around. If you want to learn how this works, you got to learn the first few steps. Let's talk about that. To educate yourself further on how data furnishing actually works, you need to learn from a mentor, somebody who's actually experienced in their process of successfully getting approved as a data furnisher, that has a personal case study of reporting not only to their own report, but also to other people's report and who has proof. This is somebody that you should learn everything from, the step-by-steps. This is the best way to get yourself exposed into this world that people have no clue who to go to, who to talk to, how to get in. The data furnishing hustle, the investment to get started initially, you want to look at $5,000 to be your capital. Make sure that you have at least that. That will cover everything that involves the setup to get this whole thing started. The initial investments you'll need to start this data furnishing hustle. You need to have office equipment, will turn out to be at max $1,000. You need to have the software to compute all the data. The licensing, it costs about maybe $600. Now, you want to also have zombie debt, a portfolio that you can, at will, every single month when you're ready to report, use to back all of your primary trade lines that you create by just copy and pasting, maybe editing the original creditor, the old debtor, with your data furnishing as the original creditor and the paid client that you have as the new debtor to this account. And that'll cost you about maybe, I'd say $4,000, depending on how much that you buy in bulk. Now, this is to give you an estimate if we had to do at max what each metric would cost. And those expenses, I would say about $5,000. If you have that, you'll be good. The timeline for seeing your first $10,000 a month with this hustle, I'd say you can get approved in as fast as 2 weeks. And with having connections such as a credit company that is already understanding about this partnership model, is ready to go, has the existing client base, you can get your money rolling in as fast as, a month. And this whole thing, 1 month. So there you have it. The mechanism behind how credit companies are willing to pay you $10,000 a month